Somewhere along the way, influencers stopped trying to be liked because being hated gets more views. A controversial take, a scripted scene on TikTok, an overly chaotic personality, and boom, the comments are on fire. Influencers, celebrities, and politicians alike have learned that they don't exactly need your trust, and they don't even need your respect. All they need is your attention. And if anger gets it faster than admiration, then rage bait becomes the business model. I started thinking more about rage bait when this video appeared on my TikTok. A woman writes that her husband is always walking ahead of her, so she stopped walking to see how far he'd go, and his reaction wasn't exactly loving. So immediately, I'm scrolling through the comments because I'm like, this guy's a dick. And everybody's saying the same thing. There's outrage, this man hates you, leave your husband, you need to get a divorce now. So I'm curious, I'm like, what happened? Did she resolve it with him? Did he apologize? Did she get a divorce? And then I look at her page and every video is the same. It's a formula about her husband doing something mean to her, and then cue the outrage in the comments. In this one, she says her husband's upset that the girl he met on Tinder a week ago stopped messaging him back, but little does he know, it's his wife. Or in this video, she catches him looking at hot girls on his phone, so on and so forth. Rage bait is a term that's used to describe content that's intentionally provocative, not to inform or entertain, but just to make you mad enough to click, comment, and share. And it works. Platforms are designed to reward intensity, not nuance, not authenticity, not accuracy, just pure emotional charge. Outrage is no longer a byproduct, it's a strategy now. So musicians, marketers, politicians, celebrities, influencers, everybody uses this as a strategy to get attention. People who once built their careers on being liked now build their careers by doing and saying controversial things or just flat out being hated, because being respected takes a lot of time to build, but going viral can happen in an instant. And rage bait isn't just a trend, it's a central part of how influencers grow and maintain visibility. It's not about being real anymore, it's about being reacted to. And I can't help but feel like everything I see is fake now. And it doesn't always mean that these are bad people saying and doing bad things. Take one of my favorite accounts, Itty Bitty Farm 1.
You see that coyote? You better be careful. Y'all better be careful, there's a coyote in the yard. It's coming this way, I think. Or it's rolling in something.
The comments are filled with emotional charge and reactivity. People laughing that the woman is so close to the coyote, people angry at the woman for risking her dog and her life being so close to the coyote, just so on and so forth. But just look at their page. All of their content is just videos about their coyote, but they market it as if it's wild. And that video alone has 13.6 million views, so you can see why they do it. Acting like the coyote's wild and just wandered into their life is sure to get more of a reaction. The line between rage bait and clickbait can get a little bit blurry, so some of these kind of fall in the middle, but take a look at this account. This video popped up on my feed the other day of a woman eating an edible that she thought had 10 milligrams of THC when it actually had 100 milligrams. This video has 2.2 million views and thousands of comments from people laughing or really concerned about her. And I was one of them because I was like, oh my God, is she alive? And it turns out every single video is the same. And not only that, but it's all a content strategy to promote her edible company. This account posts videos of someone breaking and entering onto their property and acting really creepy, garnering thousands of comments and views from people who are super freaked out or really concerned and trying to help. And unsurprisingly, it's rage bait. Or take Butter Girl, who's been posting videos of herself eating tubs of butter and different various types of butter since 2020. She racks up thousands of views and comments per video, but if you look more carefully, you can see that she almost never swallows what she's eating. And it's certainly not just on TikTok. This video popped up on my Instagram page. We can see a woman dancing on stage in front of a DJ deck as if she just kind of rushed on stage and made it her own. The comments are full of people saying that she's a narcissist, that this was so inappropriate, or people hyping her up, saying it was amazing. But actually, that is Janet Planet, one half of Confidence Man, one of my favorite electropop groups. And I immediately knew this video was fake because that was Coachella and I was in the audience for that performance. Everybody's doing it because it works. It simply gets more engagement than saying something nice and positive or just simply telling the truth. And I am frustrated with it because I'm extremely gullible and very trusting. And every single time I see the rage bait videos, I go, God damn it, it happened again. And every single time I have to go to the comments of every single video that I come across with just to make sure that I'm not being tricked. And I, for one, am exhausted. There's a reason rage bait works so well, and it has to do with how our brains are wired. It's called negativity bias. Negativity bias basically just means that our brains tend to focus on the negative more than the positive. And that's why, hate comments can be so intense. You may not remember or internalize the really nice comments that someone leaves you, but you will remember that one mean comment that someone left on a video. We're all wired to remember an insult more than a compliment, or stop scrolling for something that enrages us versus something that soothes us. And that bias is content fuel. When we see something that makes us mad, we don't just move on and forget about it. We react, we comment, we stitch, we share with our friends, we engage on that content. And all of those reactions signal identity, whether subconsciously or not. Because if you leave a comment like, "This is disgusting," you're not just criticizing, you're also signaling to your followers, like, this is me and this is what I stand for and what I don't stand for. The moral signaling, even when it's totally unconscious, is part of why rage bait spreads so easily. Mob mentality and group identity are core psychological forces behind how rage bait spreads and why it feels so satisfying to engage with. Mob mentality doesn't feel like a mob when you believe that you're right. It just feels like you're involved with something important. And the more pile on, the more justification for that reaction. And that's exactly what rage bait counts on, not just the reaction, but a group reaction. Because when one person gets angry, it's content. But when thousands do it together, it's momentum. The platforms don't care why you react. They only care that you do, because it's all engagement, and engagement is what matters. It's kind of like the saying, there's no such thing as bad press. And that's how rage bait wins. Anytime you engage, even if it's a negative reaction, the algorithm boosts it. It's not about what's true or thoughtful. It's about what keeps you watching and reacting. Meredith Duxbury built a massive audience on TikTok doing her makeup by smearing on thick layers of foundation. And after the jump cut, it always looks flawless. And every single time the comments explode. People accuse her of wasting the product. They argue about the technique. They accuse her of trolling. And all while that's happening, the videos are climbing and climbing the algorithm. The performance is the point and the outrage is the engine. Meredith doesn't need you to love her or respect her technique. All she needs are people who are mad enough to react and watch. And she built then the rest of her social media career on that. Like, not all of her videos are like that anymore, but that's what catapulted her to a massive platform of something like 18 million followers. But for some influencers, rage bait is the entire strategy. Being real used to be the goal, but now with the rise of short form content, being reactable is what matters. The modern influencer isn't just posting content. They are performing a character, and sometimes it's meant to annoy you. That's why so many creators online seem to have a personality that's either like overly cocky, kind of snarky, say things that are somewhat controversial, or are just like chaotic and over the top and energetic, because that pushback kind of just fuels the fire. A hate watch is still a watch, and a hate comment is still a comment. So within this system, hate can be monetized. If you randomly saw this video, what would you think?
What? What did you say? I sat myself. Do you have a problem with that? 25 people waiting outside. What does that have to do with me in this situation? Can I get the menu back? I have a family of 12 waiting on this table, and you really think you can sit here by yourself? Do I really look like I care about the family of 12? Can you tell me things that happen to me? Which basically is just the menu given back to me. Yeah, I my dinner. I don't really have time. This is a really fast-paced business, and this is a lot of money my family is making. Can you just give me that food? I feel like I've seen you before. Can you just leave? Sorry.
Her comments are filled with brutal criticism, disbelief, and sometimes pure rage. But that's the point. Last year, Winta made $150,000 posting these videos, and now she has nearly 1 million followers. But rage bait isn't limited to just persona-based content. Some people skip the character and just go straight for the stunt. Belle Delphine sold her bathwater. Amaranth sold her farts. Both were met with moral panic and viral confusion, which only drove more traffic to their pages. And it's not just creators. Take WAP by Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. Explicit lyrics and unapologetic visuals sparked a whole wave of cultural backlash. Conservatives condemned it. Feminists debated it. Everyone was talking about it. And even Cardi B said that the song's outrage helped the song climb the charts. Controversy became marketing, and identity politics became promo. And this strategy is so effective that entire marketing campaigns are built around provocation. Outrage marketing is rage bait with a PR team. It's the same strategy of provoke and watch it spread, but just with a little bit more polish and planning. It's carefully designed to spark just enough backlash to go viral while remaining ambiguous enough to dodge accountability. In my opinion, Sabrina Carpenter's album cover for Man's Best Friend used this playbook perfectly. The first cover showed Sabrina kneeling in a submissive position and a sexy face while a man lightly pulls her hair. Immediately, the internet split. Some called it submissive, anti-feminist, regressive. Others read it as a satirical commentary on the male gaze, or Sabrina just simply expressing a kink. And the more people that argued about what it meant, the more visible it became. And then the second album cover dropped, and the cycle continued. Controversy gave the album context, meaning, and most importantly, attention. Then there's Gwyneth Paltrow. There's always Gwyneth Paltrow. She's always gonna be in one of these. But she launched a candle on her brand Goop's website called This Smells Like My Vagina. And the internet lost it. She was absolutely roasted online. I mean, people were calling her a narcissist. They were saying she's disgusting. Everybody was talking about it. But the thing is, the candle sold out not once, but multiple times. The actual scent of the vagina candle was floral and citrusy, really nothing shocking or innovative at all. But the name was the point. It wasn't about fragrance. It was about being provocative. Gwyneth Paltrow later said that it was part joke, part marketing, and in the process, she turned a $75 novelty candle into a cultural flashpoint. Another example is Lil Nas X and his Satan shoes that launched with his music video for Montero. The shoes looked like custom Nikes, but with a pentagram, a Bible verse, and even a drop of blood in the sole. Cue outrage. People accused him of promoting Satanism, Nike filed a lawsuit, news outlets couldn't stop covering it, and the shoes sold out in under a minute. And the music video went absolutely viral. Lil Nas X didn't backpedal. He played into the controversy, responding with memes and deadpan tweets. The more people panicked, the more visible he became. And there are so many other examples I wrote down, like Doja Cat's demon aesthetic rollout for Scarlet, possibly Kim Kardashian's Met Gala Marilyn Monroe dress, Lady Gaga's meat dress, or pretty much everything Julia Fox has ever worn, which is why I love her so much. Outrage marketing isn't new, but what used to be seen as like risky or accidental now is just part of the playbook. Controversy is no longer something that brands try to avoid. It's something that they kind of plan for. But even if it works, there's still a cost. What happens to us when outrage becomes the default? When everything feels like it's meant to provoke you all the time, you can start to live in reaction mode and really just kind of get in the headspace of like being angry all the time. Or you can go the opposite end and you become really distrustful of people and kind of ambivalent to everything because you just assume it's all fake. Personally, I'm so gullible. I don't think that'll ever change about me, unfortunately, but I'm just tired. I'm tired of feeling like I'm being tricked all the time. I'm tired of every piece of content being, satirical or faked or scripted. I'm just tired. I think a lot of us have become a lot less trusting of content or even people that we like because, we wonder, are they genuine or are they just baiting us? And the people that we hate, they keep doing the same thing and we keep engaging. And so then we end up being kind of complicit in the very system that we claim to resent. And I'm sure I don't need to elaborate too much, but the consequence of this is that it bleeds into our political system. When rage bait is paired with ideology, it becomes a devastating combination. They say something extreme, trigger backlash, and then ride the controversy to more exposure. It's not about governance, it's about going viral. For example, Marjorie Taylor Greene compared vaccine mandates to Holocaust. Outrage exploded, even from within her own party. But the result? Headlines, fundraising spikes, and more attention from her base. She didn't lose momentum, she gained it. This is super depressing, but Marjorie Taylor Greene saw a massive increase in fundraising after she started incorporating rage bait into her strategy, like the vaccine Holocaust comment. And the more pushback she gets from Republicans, Democrats, and mainstream media, it just solidifies her as an anti-establishment figure. And it's the same strategy employed by people like Donald Trump or manosphere influencer Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate's content is designed to provoke misogyny and hate, and critics stitch him, journalists condemn him, platforms ban and unban him, and people comment like crazy on his videos, and yet his audience grows. Because every reaction, even disgust, just reinforces his brand. He's selling outrage as an identity. Andrew Tate doesn't just provoke for attention. He uses rage bait as a strategy to radicalize and ultimately monetize misogyny. And he weaponizes that backlash to pull young men further to the right. And for his followers, that backlash becomes proof to them that men are under attack. And that's the devastating consequence of rage bait when paired with ideology. It doesn't just spark outrage, it offers people a place to belong. The strategy is trigger the opposition, get their reaction, use it to galvanize your own side. And the more you're hated, the more authentic you appear. That's why outrage is now baked into political branding and why we're no longer just debating ideas, we are reacting to performances. One side provokes, the other reacts, and the cycle feeds itself. While Donald Trump, Sabrina Carpenter, Andrew Tate, Meredith Duxbury, Lil Nas X, and Marjorie Taylor Greene may not all be doing the same thing, but they are using the same tools. Outrage, performance, and attention in whatever form it comes. So when being hated or doing and saying controversial things becomes more powerful and lucrative than being respected, what kind of culture does that create? And what kind of audience does that turn us into? Ultimately, I think rage bait is just a mirror. It reflects what the algorithm rewards, which is what we respond to. And it doesn't have to be fair or good or true. It just needs to get a reaction. And when you start to see that, and I mean really see it and really take the time to pay attention to it, the internet starts to look a little bit different. And you don't have to quit it altogether, but I think, maybe you pause before feeding into something that only exists to upset you. Maybe you'll notice when a creator is provoking on purpose and you'll look at their page before commenting. Or maybe you'll notice when, a headline is framed for clicks and not clarity. Because if rage is the currency and attention is the transaction, then we're the ones who get to decide what's worth paying for. I hope you liked this video. It was a quick and little casual one. I just wanted to share some rage bait videos that came across my feed and add a little context to them. But let me know if you want more of the longer, more comprehensive and thoughtful deep dives, or if you like these more chatty, casual videos. Wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for watching and stay cool.